Hey everybody, welcome to Pick Up the Truth. Now, we're back at the seeds that are germinating on the plate that we left them in, and we're going to see how they're doing. Now, it's been about 2.5 days since they've been started. It's going to, I imagine it's going to take a little longer than this, but we're going to check and find out. The most important thing is not to let these napkins go dry, because you want them to hold the liquid and you don't want them to run out of the water. Now, let's take a look and see how they're doing. Whoa, look at what we got there. Looks like one is coming out pretty good. Oh, looks like we might have two that, no, they're all starting to come out. Now, the one that I have separate, that is the seed that I found out of the bag of weed that was really good. And that's a new strain. These two, they're starting to sprout little roots as well. That's what the white things are coming out of the end of the seeds. They're the roots. And these roots, these white roots, they're the ones you have to put them in the soil first, and you have to put the seed part facing up. But we'll get into that. Now that I see this one is ready, this one's ready to be put in the soil, so we're gonna begin that process and explain how that goes. Now, when I plant these seeds in soil, I like to do it a specific way. I mean, you can choose to use these little planter cups, you know, right here, and a plate on the bottom, but that's a pain in the neck. And it's not really a good system to start a plant off with anyway. So what I like to do is I like to use these Dollar Tree cups, the clear ones, especially these green ones, because you can see through them real easily, and you can see how the roots are doing as time goes on, you know. But in order for these to work for our needs, we're going to have to modify these cups a little bit. Now, I'll use a solid cup that's been unmanipulated as the base, you know, which these you can get at a Dollar Tree. I think they sell them in a 16-pack for $1. So, I mean, for one plant, you're going to need 2 of these cups, because we're going to use one as a base, bottom base, and then I also bought some of this hobby foam at the Dollar Tree. I mean, you don't exactly have to get this exact shape of foam, but Any kind of foam will work, as long as you can cut it into a shape that'll work for your needs. I mean, what we want it to do is, be probably about a half, 3/4 of an inch thick. And then we'll put it in the bottom, And what that's going to do is it's going to create space between the cup that holds soil, which will be this cup that holds soil, and the cup that retains water, which will be the bottom cup. It'll retain the water. That's why we want the space. And I'll tell you the reason for that a little later. But right now, we have the little spacer we created with the foam we bought at the Dollar Tree. That was also $1. So between the cups and the foam, you only spent $2, so that's good. And you can plant 8 plants if you wanted to out of the 16 cups. 2 cups per plant. So what we're going to do with the cup that's going to be holding the actual soil and plant is we're going to want to put some holes in the bottom so the water can drain, because we don't want the soil to become waterlogged or compressed, so we can make sure that the root growth will be strong. What we're going to do is, I like to take a soldering iron, just a cheap soldering iron. You can get this at Walmart for between $5 to $7. And if you don't really have one of these laying around the house, it's not necessary to use this to put holes in the cups. It's just a faster and easier way to do it for me. I mean, you can always use razor blade or pair of scissors or something just to make holes in the bottom. So let's begin. I like to make not too big of holes. I'm not sure how many I want to make. Maybe I'll make 4 or 5. Try to put them, space them out evenly. It's important. And you put one in the middle. It's good. And there we go. We have a cup that's ready for soil. Now, only one of these seeds are ready, so we're only going to need 1 cup. The other 2 seeds, the roots look like they're popping out of the seeds, but they need a few more days to grow. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these back under a wet napkin and put this aside for a minute. And then we're going to bring some soil in. And we're going to put it in this cup, the one we just made the holes in. Now, the kind of soil I like to use is any kind of light seed starting soil is good for even marijuana. marijuana seeds. Just make sure you get any kind of sticks or big pieces of wood out for, you know, these little seeds. Because what we want to promote is good root growth. And trust me, these roots grow fast and they grow a lot. And we're going to be seeing that. But what you want to make sure is that the seed starting soil that you get, no matter what brand, is a light, fluffy soil, one with a lot of perlite, which are these white rocks. And what that does is it allows the dirt to have room for the roots to go through it. It doesn't compact and smash the roots all up. And that's going to be important when we put the soil in the cup as well. Now, it's also important when you buy soil, the seed starting soil, make sure that the nitrogen level is low. You know, you don't want anything too high. These seeds won't survive in nitrogen level that's too high. So most seed starting soils are good on nitrogen, good for having low nitrogen, so you don't really have to worry about that. So we got all the chunks out of here, out of all the wood chunks. So we're not gonna pack the soil in here. We're just gonna lightly put it and just let it flow in the cup. And we're gonna put a decent amount in here, maybe fill it like 3/4 of the way full. You know, so the roots will be able to grow and have room to go through all this soil. Now, maybe a little more. Reason I like to use these cups is because they're not thick, they're real thin, and they're easy to cut, you know, because soon I'm gonna have to, you know, transplant the plant from here to something bigger, and it's good to have this cup that's thin so you can just cut it. I like to cut it on one side, cut it on another side, and another side, and that way I can just split the cup and ensure that I get a good clean transplant. It's all about thinking ahead with this kind of stuff. So we're gonna put the cup with the soil in here. And what I like to do is I'll take some distilled water and I'll just fill the soil up with the water. Make sure you get good penetration through all of the soil. Just to, you don't have to worry about it. You already put holes in the bottom, and you're gonna see it coming through and building up on the bottom like that, like so. You see what it's doing? It's building up on the bottom like so. And you can always empty the excess out. I like to keep the excess fluid as excess liquid as plant food. It's good because this is fresh soil and it's good for plant food. And the excess water is good for plant food, especially when it's clean like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the end of a pencil and we're going to make a hole in the center of the soil. Just not too far, maybe up to the metal part. And then we're going to take this seed and we're going to make sure that the root part is in the hole, and try not to bend the root. You know, they can seem hard, but you don't want to break them. And what I'm going to do is I got the seed in there. I'm going to put a little water in the center. Make sure I then I'm going to come around and put some more soil on top. Make sure I cover it. I want to cover it in about an inch thick dirt. And the reason why I do that is because, and I'm not going to pack it down now. The reason why I do that, it takes a little longer for the seed to grow through this dirt, but when it does, the pressure of the dirt will knock the seed off the head of the plant. Because sometimes the marijuana seed likes to stick to the head of the plant. So if you can make that seed come up through the soil, it'll take that seed off naturally and you won't have a problem with that. And that's why I like to do it like that. Yeah. And there we go. Well, see, created some dirt water. Put that back in there. Now I can take that water and come back with it and just go over it one more time. Just make sure that there's some water building up on the bottom, which there is. And I don't want it to go past that line. You don't either, because we don't want this soil to be drenched. What we're looking for is, you know, we want water to be on the bottom of this cup, but we don't want it coming past the line, because what we're trying to achieve is eventually we want the roots to start searching for the water at the bottom of the cup, and that's what's going to promote root growth. If we can get the roots searching for water. But that's why I like this cup system that I came up with. It works pretty good. You don't really have to worry about the water too much, but just try to keep the soil from getting dry. And maybe come back once a day and try to lightly put some distilled water in the soil until it starts to grow healthy, but we'll see how it goes. Well, that's it for now. We'll probably be planting the other ones soon. Hopefully they'll only take another day or two to be ready to put in soil. But it's always fun working with nature. You know, knowing that you put your intentions, your good intentions into natural things and starting a life that you're going to consume, because we smoke marijuana, and hopefully it'll be good. Well, thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed. Love you guys. Take care of yourself.